All right, guys, here we go. This will be an explanation of your Criterion A and B summative assessment for this Net Games unit. Your small project task will be to create a skill-specific training plan for your tennis forehand. Now, what we've done already is we have done a little bit of a diagnostic video where you have identified the steps of the forehand and which one you personally need to work on. All right, next step is, I'll just read out the instructions here. Your task is to plan a skill-specific training plan to prepare and improve your forehand skill. You can research existing exercises and games or create your own. Your plan should have 2 exercises as shown in the template here. I've given you guys a little table here that you can use to fill in and organize your plan. Okay, so a little bit more organized than the formative, but still very similar in that you guys are creating a plan that you will need to perform at some point. Okay, now the big things that you need to include are, how is this exercise or activity performed? All right, and one of the command terms that we talked about was describing, right? Giving a detailed account. The next number 2 there is, how is this developing your forehand? Okay, what skill step are you focusing on, right? Those skill steps are shown on the slideshow on slide number 22, and they're also broken down in my video that are on slide 18. Okay. How long will we perform this activity for? Okay, I want you again, guys, just like the formative, to imagine the person that you are making this plan for doesn't know exactly how to perform this. They need to know how long, how many repetitions, those big W question words that we used in describing. So what are we doing? Where are we doing it? When? Why? And that H word, how. So what equipment is needed? We are in a pandemic at the moment, so what we're going to try to do is we're just going to mention how we're going to sanitize it in case we need to share the equipment with someone or someone will be using it after we are done. A diagram or photo of the activity being performed, hopefully in a socially distanced setting and wearing our mask at school. You can use a design software or program to create a diagram for this, or what most people do is that they film themselves or take still shots of themselves performing their activity in class. You will have time to complete that portion. Now, getting to our Criterion A knowledge portion, all right? You're going to use the information that we have covered in the formative portion of the unit. What health, and I'm going to change that, and skill-related fitness components are being used, because I would like to hear about both of them. I'd like you to explain how that good old H word, be detailed in your explanations, as well as what muscles are being used. Please remember, we are using the anatomical names, not arm muscle, toe muscle, nose muscle, etc. Okay? That's a basic breakdown and explanation of your assessment. Let's move on to the rubrics and some of the command terms that are going to be very important for you guys to hit. For Criterion A, guys, when we're looking in the 7 and 8 band, okay, which most of us are striving towards, we're looking at describing. We've covered that in detail, okay? Describing means to give a detailed account of something, right? Okay. Now, the definitions for these command terms can be found in your Google Classroom under command term levels in class documents, okay? And I've made you guys a traffic light of command terms that shows you where you should be striving to reach, okay? And it has a definition of the command terms we're shooting for. All right, this is good for your parents to understand what you're doing, and maybe your Hagwon or tutors as well. I've also translated it into Korean for you, okay? So we looked at describe. Describe means to give a detailed account or picture of a situation. Now, not necessarily drawing a picture, but to build one in the mind, right? So detailed is the key one there, all right? And again, we talk about those W words and that H word, who, what, when, where, why, and how, okay? Another command term that sticks out here is apply and explain, okay, and consistently and effectively. Those things, most of them are found in this traffic light document, okay? So we got explain, describe, evaluate will pop up in there, analyze, all right? There's a couple extra vocabulary words in there that you can look up basically in a dictionary consistently and effectively, okay? Now this is where the content comes in. Anatomical muscles, okay? That's the form. Function and health and skill related components are a part of function as well. Okay. When we get to the B, which is the planning, you've designed and explained a skill specific warm-up plan. Okay. Designing is in there in those command terms as well as explain. And then you've explained the effectiveness of the skill specific training based on the outcome. So what is the result you're looking for? And you've told me why you're doing what you're doing. Okay. Very good. If you're looking for any of these things, guys, the command term traffic lights are linked in here. All right. The fitness component posters are here. The muscles, Mr. Rainbow Muscle Man. I have to change that one. I think Mr. Rainbow Muscle Man is down here. I think I've updated. Oh, I'll update that for you guys now. And then form and function applied to the work. Okay. Cool. So that is the basics of your summative project. If we have any questions about this, I will be available after this little Loom recording. But I didn't want to repeat myself 5 times a day. So here it is. I'll see you guys back in our Zoom meeting.